Yes, we can.
Cool. Hi, Marco. How you going, mate?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm fine.
Good. Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is a record for a live stream, which we're doing just so that I can go through the updates and talk about how to set up bots and things like that with the new updates. Right. Over back to my screen. Okay, cool. Okay, as always, this is just a live stream to go through all of the updates. Not a financial advice. I'm not a trading guru in the slightest.
You are.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say something, Steve.
I found this on the web.
Oh, it's a trading guru. Just here to try and debunk the market with math and code and structure nowadays, and creating this, as I said earlier, it's been recorded on YouTube, not on Twitch anymore, but on YouTube, so that anybody can come back and see it afterwards. So if you do want to share your screen, please obviously be careful with any credentials and things like that. As always, welcome to everybody. Thank you very much for joining me on this live. I thought I'll go through today the updates of what's been going on. There's been quite a lot been going on with the ABC patterns, what I'm struggling with, what I'm trying to build at the moment to make it faster and things like that. Go through all of the questions, which is most important, is to answer the questions of everybody in the group. So as always, Discord has its downfalls. It's a fantastic platform, but I can't see your face. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to interrupt at any time. It's all about community, as I keep saying all the time. Please do interrupt. I also have the comment section open on YouTube and the comment section for anybody who doesn't want to talk on Discord open, so I'll answer questions there as we go along. Vlad, if you see any important I said near went in French there. Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. If you see any questions pop up, just ask me, and that way they're recorded as well.
Sure.
Cool. So thanks, Vlad. So what I'll do is go through the ABC. Haven't really put much of a presentation together this week because as you know, I've been coding quite a lot on the ABC structure. Got a couple of notes. I'll go through the updates that have been going through. A lot of you have already seen the updates. And then I'll just answer questions as we go along if anybody's got any questions about the ABC patterns, things like that. So I started this week over the past couple of updates, trying to get the quickest entries, the best entries, working out win rates, things like that, just so that I could be sure that the probabilities are in our favor when adding confluence, when removing confluence, when strictly only trading the ABC patterns, trying to find the best possible setups for whatever time frame you're on, for each coin pair and things like that. So I started the week by building, as you may or may not seen, this thing here, which is the backtest results thing here, which just literally gives us a win rate. The win rate, obviously, this is complete guidance, and it obviously has the same sort of problems as any other backtesting algorithm from a trading view. There's a couple of things that I'll go through in a minute that I've noticed. But to activate that, all you have to do is go down to the bottom and turn on the show backtester at the bottom here. That works with the take profits areas here, or with the Fibonacci levels that show up on the chart. It takes, if you're using the Fibonacci, it will take the first line, so the lowest line out of the two as your take profits. But you can easily adjust that by going up to the Fibonacci settings, which are here, and literally change them to your desired Fibonacci level. So that was the idea. So a couple of problems that I've noticed in the backtester is there's a couple of problems with we've been trying like really slow, really small pivot lengths, and also small take profits and things like that. The backtester comes up with problems like things like when the same candle, if you've got a 0.1 stop loss and a 0.2 take profits. If the first candle hits the take profits and the stop loss at the same time, obviously that's going to work as the bias, as such for guidance to help us to find the perfect, the better, the confluence zones and things like that, things that could work, helping you to give you an idea of the percentage win rate that is possible with the setup. But it still has exactly the same data as TradingView, so it hasn't got like the ticks on the back testing and things like that. So you do have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt, because it has like I said, it has its own backfalls and things like that. There are some other things, like if you have your pivot length here set to 2 or to 1 or to anything below, I should imagine about 5, but that's just a guesstimation. I tend to stay between maximum, lowest I'd go with be 7 on a higher time frame. On a really low time frame, you have to take into account that what's happening here is we're creating pivot lines. So these pivot lines here, so we're taking our highs and our lows to create these lines here. If you're taking like a 2 is going to be extremely small areas around here, and they could be unconfirmed and removed afterwards, which would mean that it would repaint and remove your ABC patterns. So when using extremely low pivots, you have to be careful, because they can repaint, and quite often. Obviously, the higher the pivot, the more time the TradingView has to confirm those pivots, and gives you much better confirmation for this. As you can see, the break of structure has worked out on quite a long length there before it's actually come down over here. So the low here, which is where we need to confirm, is actually confirmed, because it's got all of these candles to confirm that it actually is a new lower high. So the higher the length of the pivot, obviously the more confirmed they are, and the less chance of us having any repainting would happen. So they're the two things that I really wanted to go back about on, just so that, like I said, I can stay as transparent as possible. I show all the problems that I've come across with these pivot lengths and things like that inside the indicator. There's workarounds in their own way. They're workarounds to help us to get the best possible lengths. Things like this I added as well last week, which helps us to confirm the length of the ABC. So what happens here is it looks back from the break of structure here. It looks back 150 candles to make sure that this one here, over here, this one here is higher than this one here, creating a valid ABC pattern, which helps us to confirm everything before getting into those trades. Yeah, so I've added that. So that's the first thing that I've added. Like I said, it works with your take profits areas here. So the old work with fixed percentage for me at the moment, because I was looking for a scalping strategy on lower time frames. So it works with them. I started to add a couple of more things for our confluence. Personally, as you know, I was looking for a really low time frame entry with the confirmation of a higher time frame in the trend. What I did before was look for breaks of structure, but I've added these ones here, which allow us to confirm a trend either with the golden crossover, which is the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA crossing over on a higher time frame. So you can have the golden cross there and then choose the time frame that golden crossover happens. Or you can have the 100 EMA, the 200 EMA, or the SSL channel. If anybody's got any great ideas, I'll quite happily add them as well. They're quite easy to add. They're just the ones that I found at the time, and they're ones that were suggested last week while we're on the live stream. So, for instance, the 100 EMA is obviously the 100 EMA is plotted on a higher time frame. If you're below the 100 EMA, you're taking shorts. If you're above the 100 EMA, you're taking longs. So they've been added there as well to help us do a multi-time frame, which is great because it's something that we couldn't do particularly well inside of strategies, but works fine inside of these indicators. Other than that, what else have I got here?
David, question.
Yes, sure, Marco. How you going?
About the 2 minute, it's repainting with a low pivot. What do we advise, or will you come with a solution?
Yeah, so what I'm doing at the moment, I've come up with a couple of when you're on very, very low pivots, as I said earlier, we were taking extremely small pivots. Now, what I can do is currently these pivots are working on your close. So the problem is when you're on that also will help us. Obviously, a high and a low, unless pushed up higher, is not repainted. But anyway, that candle is there is confirmed. So the high doesn't repaint. The other thing that I'm working on is I'm working on with Andrea, who works with me, on a multi-time frame zigzag pattern. So this is the zigzag pattern here, which allows us to take the ABCs on a low time frame, but have the zigzags on a higher time frame, which means that they will be more confirmed on that time frame. So obviously I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for as many solutions as I possibly can to find the better. I know there is an indicator out there called zigzag with no repaint, which somebody sent to me during the week, which I will be looking at the code to see how that works as well, so that we can look for removing repaints and also maybe finding a solution to a better way of taking these pivot lengths here. So everything's in the...
I saw also in the Discord, OJS mentioned that it's also repainting on the 10 and 20 pivot. Is that correct?
Now, obviously, there's a chance of some of them being repainted on the higher levels, but the higher the level, obviously, the much lesser chance of it happening. As I said earlier, what happens is it comes up, comes down, and as long as you've had 10 candles in there, it becomes completely confirmed. But yes, there's very, very little chance of a repaint happening after the 10 pivot, as I've put in some code in there to make sure. But on the lower ones, that's where the problem actually comes in. It's mainly
Okay,
the
thanks.
lower, yeah.
David, I've been testing on the fast setting, and I've seen it repaint. I've seen it repaint on 10-15
Right. Okay.
a few times.
Okay. So
I don't know if that's more to do with the fast setting rather than anything else.
okay. Yeah, I will. It totally can be. I will have a look. Have a look after we've done the call. Yesterday, I spent most of my time trying to get these alerts to ping off as quick as possible. But I certainly will have a look at ways of making these much more confirmed, without doubt.
Cool. I've reset my test. I've put them all in now, so I'm back onto Wick to see if there's any different.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Yes, yeah, yeah.
And this is without any confluences at all, just so they don't affect the the multi-time frame aspect.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I will definitely find a solution so that it is absolutely in stone as such. These wicks, these pivot patterns. Within the next couple of days, I'll definitely find something, even if, like I said, we are creating maybe a second pattern above the previous pattern to confirm it, or I will find a solution without doubt over the next couple of days for this
Okay.
one.
Thanks.
Even on the fast.
I think it's
sorry, carry on, James.
Yeah, I think it's just obviously with the backtest there. I know it's only a guide and it's only in beta, but you can't really put much trust in it, I suppose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If there's hints of that thing.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. It's the reason that I've put it onto the screen and everything else, because it has to be transparent. It has to be it's something that's in beta. I want to get it so that it's absolutely perfect for everybody to trade as much as possible and positively as possible. So it's helped me to go through and find some of these bugs, some of these problems, and yeah, I totally agree with you. It's got to be something that's got to be in stone as they pop up. If the fast is the thing that's causing it, it's something that has to be removed. Obviously, the open will not repaint because the open never moves, so it's the open afterwards. Gives you a slightly lower win rate, but
when you change that, David, do you notice the lines on the end? Do you know the lines when you show the lines when you're opening the trade? Does it? Because when I've changed them options, it doesn't change the line, the entry line at all.
No, it will not, because that's the problem with repainting, is because it's a bit of it's a bit how to put it, it's a bit of it's a bit of a ghost. It hides, it is hidden completely, but the confirmed entries are confirmed entries. When you move it to open, that confirmed entry will pretty much be the same entry as any other entry. It's just that there'll be some entries that you would have on the same line, but will have disappeared and come back and disappeared and come back. Obviously, I think that, like you said, it's probably coming from the fast or something like that. So I need to find out where it's coming from. I thought at first it was going to be coming from the confluence over here, but a couple of users said that they've still got it even without the confluence added. So I need
I'm not selected now on confluence.
Yeah. So I need to work out where it's coming from, what part of the code is coming from, so that it can be removed and fixed. But I will find it.
And I will kill you.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's a question of that film, is it? Taken.
No. Have you
seen the film with Liam Neeson?
Sorry, I didn't.
I will find you and I will kill you.
This is getting.
Just don't worry about it. Just
No problem.
I got it.
You got it. Okay, cool. Got a bit confused. Okay, so I've added some more pivot, some other features, including the minimum risk to reward over here. Anybody that's using the fib lines at the very beginning, we found something that we found very, very quickly was that sometimes these fib lines here, if you pull out something, let me try and find one which would have been a terrible risk to reward. Some of them would have had a terrible risk to reward. I don't know if this one will be. I don't suppose it will be. No, I suppose that's not too bad. Saying that the here, for instance, would have given us a terrible risk to reward. So now you can filter out trades where the risk to reward would have been much too small to actually trade, or even negative. So I've added this here. Obviously, if you're using fixed percentages, it doesn't make sense to have the risk to reward filter on. But if you're using Fibonacci levels, you can set them to Fibonacci's and then set your minimum risk to reward to 1, which means that obviously you're looking for trades where it's over a 1 risk to reward. Anything above 1 will be taken, anything below 1 will be just filtered out. Let me have a look to see if I can find a trade or two here very quickly, because there is something here. Okay, they will be still on the chart, even though they aren't taken on alerts. If the risk to reward is not good, like this one would have been over here somewhere, you would have had a X, this one here, it's this one here, you would have this X at the bottom here, which means not a good trade to take, because the risk obviously here is much more than the reward, so it's something that would have been filtered out. So that has helped immensely to get some better risk to rewards. Obviously, it was creating a high win rate where a lot of the the risk to reward was negative. So I've added that this week so that your risk to reward filter can filter out any bad trades. So that I've added. I added pips this week. I'm not sure how well that works because I haven't had enough time to add it. And I've been working on the alert system with a couple of users inside of the Discord. That's mainly the reason that we've had so many updates this week, trying to get the best possible alerts. So the idea is to get the message to be sent as quick as possible. As we're getting our entries, so I've been working with this little indicator down here, which is just a EMA crossover to try and get the alerts on a really low time frame. And I think this morning I've managed to find out why any of the alerts would have come on the next candle and not on the actual candle itself. Well, it comes on the candle close and not the candle itself. So I'll be updating that in the next hour or two, where we get crossovers. I believe that I can see a couple here. Let me have a look here. That one was one we're currently using, as you can see it closed. We've got a couple here which are 44 seconds, 08 seconds, 31 seconds, 33 seconds. So I've now managed to get that so it actually takes into account the actual crossover. So as it crosses over a break of structure or whatever, it will take and alert you at that point, not on the actual close or the open of the next candle. So that is now fixed and will be fixed in the next update. So which is cool.
That'll make a lot of people happy, David. That one.
Yeah. It's I don't. I'm on the very first when we were doing building alerts this way here. It was not a problem in the world. It seemed to be working absolutely perfectly. It seems like the alert function that's written like this on TradingView when using a cross up or a cross down waits for the close. So I've had to remove that code and recode that part for it to actually work perfectly. So I hope that will get everybody in a little bit faster into their trades, so that the ABCs are a little more confirmed. So that's, like I said, the main updates. Let me just make sure. Red X's, risk to reward, win rate, high, low, same candle. Yep, I spoke about that. The high, low of the candle. Alerts on close and setting up the bots. A couple of people have asked me how to use the endless margin bot that's integrated into David Tech over here. So I thought I'd go in and show you how to build that very quickly. If anybody's got questions, I'll just go for the questions very quickly and then I'll go through step by step how to update those.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I had a question about the backtester.
David, did you code also a max stop loss?
Max stop loss, absolutely. All of the things that I written down on that paper when we were last week, I have been coding them slowly, part by part, into the indicator, and I will do a larger update of all of those by the this weekend. So,
Trailing stop loss too.
Sorry.
Okay, great. Yes.
Trailing stop loss.
Trailing stop losses will have to be taken care of by either Dropbox here area here, so that trailing stop losses can be in view. The reason I haven't done it yet is because the main reason is because I always try to keep away from everything being handled by the alerts of TradingView or the third-party services, and then I'll just start adding those options afterwards so that everybody's got the choice to understanding which way they are going.
What do you reckon about volume weighted moving average?
Volume weighted moving average I can add without problem, no problem.
I think that's really good because if you put there's one what's Chris Moody does, it's called CM. I forget now, but it's a multi-time frame one, so you can click it to the 4-hour chart, and then obviously play on the 15-minute chart if you know what I mean.
Cool.
And it's pretty good.
I'll have a look at that and add that, no problem whatsoever. I mean, those kind of things I can add very easily to see where we're going. It's
called.
Yeah, I've been using the VWAP also to as like a range filter type thing. So that might be promising.
Cool. I didn't see who was talking. Sorry, but I saw that. I thought it was Scoop for Fiber. I heard that you had another.
Yeah, I was asking about the backtester.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, it's amazing to start seeing some of the win rates, and I wanted to just kind of point out a couple things I had seen, and seen was that obviously it's still early, and we're like fixing some of the repainting or candle issues.
Yes.
But one of the things I was seeing was that when I was using fixed take profit and fixed stop loss,
yes,
and I changed the stop loss or the take profit, sometimes like the data didn't really look like it made a lot of sense. Like for instance, I changed the take profit be higher, and the win rate would get higher, but really it should technically have gotten lower. So that was one thing I wanted to point out, was that there may be like a little bit of a bug there in some way.
Okay.
I posted a couple of examples in the improvement section
Fantastic.
where I saw that issue, but I wanted to just point that out to you. And then also I wanted to kind of point out that one thing that I was looking at was I was trying to develop like a scalping strategy also.
Yes.
Using fixed take profit and fixed stop loss. But one thing that I thought was really promising about the R&R filter using the fib levels was that if you could use the fib levels, for instance, that had like let's say an RR of 5, right, to kind of like select a fixed like exit, if you will. So like either using like the fib levels as a way to select that like this trade would be good for your fixed take profit and fixed stop loss, as a way to what I mean, like just basically using it as a way to select a potentially big enough movement, instead of just always entering nonstop.
Absolutely.
So I thought that might be promising, and then also the combinations of them. So using like a fixed stop loss with a fib exit was also something I saw that might be promising, or using like any combination of them basically might be helpful. So I just saw that, and I thought like maybe there might be something with the backtester that needs more work, but nonetheless like really promising to see those things. And when I'm trading, I'm I feel like it's a little bit of a coat of armor in a way to know that like, hey, like 80% of the time it's doing this, but right now it's a little early to truly trust it yet. But if we got to that point where it was getting all the accurate entries and exits, that would be really really great for the development of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, like I say, I build it to try and make it as transparent as possible so that everybody can see what they're trying to trade. As before I did everything inside of the trading view backtester, but the problem with the ABC strategies is by waiting too long for that entry. I totally see what you're saying about the decrease of stop losses and things like that, where it may increase your win rate. I had a couple of people say the same thing inside of the general chat. The only thing that I've found is it doesn't pyramid. So pyramiding means that if you've already got one trade open, it will not take the second trade. So for instance, if you've got a long open, it will not take a second long if you're already in a long. By decreasing your stop loss, potentially, it would have opened 2 trades because it would have got out of that trade and opened another trade. So that may be potentially why. I have spent some time with a couple of people here trying to find why potentially that would have increased, and that's the only potential reason that I found. But I will continue looking. Somebody kindly sent me a code this week for a kind of a more advanced backtester, which will give you it gives you absolutely everything, which is going to save me a lot of time. It was something that I was going to include, but he sent me the code, so it's absolutely fantastic. I will not have to code all of that, so I'll be integrating that one. Hopefully over the weekend I'll integrate that so that we have a backtester that isn't created by me, so that you can see that it is that it's, like I said, trying to be as transparent as possible, trying to get it so that everybody can see what they're trading, and it's something that's not created by me, but will backtest the ABC strategy with many more variables, like how many longs were profitable, how many shorts were profitable, the profit in dollar value, etc., and all of that kind of thing. The only thing that we'll be missing is the equity curve that we like, which is in the backtester. But eventually, maybe I can even build something like that in something in a lower panel down the bottom down here. So yeah, this is the start. It's the very, very beginning of the backtester. So it will be getting better as we go along. But I totally understand where you're coming from, Zakon. Sorry. So I will do my best to make it as many results as possible, as much information, and to make the code as transparent. I'll even put the backtester code into the Discord, so anybody can see and help me improve it if they like. Strategy to use a 0.9% and then use the fibs to take profit, which I think seems to work extremely well as well. So yeah, a mix of the two is great. What'd be nice is if I had some things like move to break even inside the code, so after a certain amount of time it would move to break even and things like that, which might make that even better, those features that you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the question. Okay, let me go through the questions in the chat over here. The actual alerts. Okay. No, sorry. This is last week's questions. Oh, is it? Yes, they were. Okay, just making.
Did it's only one?
There's only one. Okay, that was me scrolling all the way up to the top. I didn't realise that there was the last time's questions. How long for the ABC signal level to valid? Is it adjustable? For how long is how long is the ABC level valid? Depends on the number of charts. I believe that it's a couple of hundred. The valid is okay. Sorry, I've completely misunderstood the question. There's something that I want to work on as well. Wix is a number of candles valid, because sometimes the ABC can go on for ages. It does seem to filter out quite often with the R&R. When you're using the R&R value here, it sometimes, often filters out bad ABC patterns where the ABC happens, it goes up and then comes back down and visits and doesn't make any other ABC patterns. But I still want to add maximum number of candles between would be the A line and the C line, and coming back down below the C line or above the C line. The A to A. C, it is the C, yeah. So I want to have that as an option in the next update. So yes.
Cool.
Mode setting. Hi, side. Carry on, yeah.
Because it would be nice to be able to just how aggressive you want to be online.
Yeah, totally. Totally agree with you. It needs to be part of it.
Because years in your R&R there. And also considering Fibonacci levels, would there be a adjustment levels on percentage? Because sometimes you want to go in on a Fibonacci level. A percentage off, to get stopped out.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe multiple takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of things with the Fibonacci that I wanted to add to the next update. For instance, the stop loss is set to the 0 line. I want to be able to give the option to be able to do a 0 line plus X number of pips or whatever you want to add onto it, or a small percentage, so that you can add better. Maybe give it a little bit more wiggle room, as they might call it, so that it moves up and down and doesn't get stopped out straight away. I think that would increase. Yep. Sorry, YouTube, for the voice of recorded Discord. I'll try and find a solution for that. Yeah. So to give it a little bit more room for that stop loss when you're using the Fibonacci levels, because the 0 seems to get wicked out quite often very quickly, that would increase our win rate. And then multiple take profit with the Fibonacci levels would be a good option, I think, as well, to be able to add. And like you said, you can just move the Fibonacci's, which are potentially just percentages anyway, of the move down, so that they can be moved around, and you'll have more options to be able to move them up and down, etc. I hope that answered the question. These settings, the settings that I've, like I said, in Discord before coming on. Honestly, I spent a long time trading the ABC strategy manually. I spent a lot of time. Then I spent, I think it was 2 weeks, searching for strategies, setups, and things like that to give the best setups that I could find. And then I've spent this week updating day in, day out the actual code behind the strategy settings. I've always wanted to do a live sort of trading session, even though it will be on bots. So what I've started to do is I've created an account here, which I've put $400 onto on Bybit. I'm going to be setting it up on bots, and then I'm going to somehow either live stream the entries and things like that, and then just come on when we get entries and things like that. But yeah, I will be doing a lot more live trading on trading setups, and I'll be sharing those settings as I go along. So with this sort of challenge account here that I've set up. Yeah, so God mode settings, they, like I said, as I've been coding, there's many settings that have been shared inside of the actual Discord of the users. I personally haven't had as much time as I'd like to go through all of the confluences and things like that, but that'll be something that I'll be doing whilst doing this sort of like challenge account on the live, on a live YouTube channel or something like that. I don't know how I'm going to live stream it, because problem with bots is, well, it's not a problem. The great thing about bots is that everything's automatic, so potentially I won't be in front of the screen while it's taking the entries. So maybe some kind of a live stream direct from a computer onto YouTube, so it'll be just running automatically, and I'll get in as soon as I hear my screen bing or whatever. Brilliant, David. Will you put up on your up on YouTube? Yes, it'll be on YouTube. I'll put it onto probably on the channel which I'm streaming to at the moment. Vlad's got set up. He's set up because his internet connection is much faster than mine. We're going to just set up some kind of way of being able to keep an eye on this trading strategy and see the profit and loss of this account here. And it may be that it's not perfect settings, but at least you'll be able to see on a real-time account. Have I seen... do I have any break structure? Do I have... and has inspired a lot of the users from the very beginning here. My inspiration came more from the MetaFX channel, YouTube channel, that gave the idea, and then most importantly, it would have been obviously the ABC pattern come from Kite Crypto. But certainly the guy that's doing this channel, and the other one, which I can never remember his name, was posted this morning. His channel is absolutely fantastic. This is a question from the live chat at the side. Let me just try and find it here somewhere. The optimizer general chat. Kaplan, that's it. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Yep. So he's got an absolutely brilliant YouTube channel. I will try and find the YouTube channel link so I can post it for everybody. Fantastic way. His explanations are absolutely brilliant. If you're looking for explanations on how to trade this, some of the different setups. Yeah. I think it's Michael Kaplan, isn't it? I can't remember. Let me have a look. Right. I have a question. Can you explain the logic how the ABC? The ABC screener I'll be updating as soon as I've finished defining the code for this. The logic behind it is pretty much the same. It uses the settings that you set to create the ABC patterns as we're creating ABC patterns, which I've been through. I'm sure that the person asked the question already knows, but making ABC patterns like this when we come back over a previous break of structure, that's the ABC pattern. When inside the screener, it just does it on multiple coins. The idea is we get this code as perfect as I possibly can, and then I'll transfer all of that code into the screener so that the screener can do the same job but with one single alert, so that we can trade multiple coins easily with one alert. And when I do an update, you won't have to go through all of the trouble of having to excuse me. You won't have to go through the updates of updating every single coin, because you'll have the screener, which is this here, which is looking after everything for you. So code here. I think that's.
I was wondering about the different middleman services,
Yes.
and you've been talking about endless margin, and I haven't used it yet, but I believe you said that would have like you think the fastest execution time. Like I have Trade Lab, I've got 3 commas, and I'm more than opening up endless if it's going to really perform better. Could you speak about that for a minute and just kind of explain the options there?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so the other middleware services are absolutely fantastic. Well, some of them are not as good, but without criticizing anybody, there's good points and bad points to each of them. Jake from TradeLab AI has a great service which allows you to add extra confluence to your trades, things like news from Twitter and things like that, which makes your trading strategy just a little bit more sure, I guess, or allows you to add confluence to what you're actually trading. So that's one option, which is TradeLab AI. So there's also Wonderbit, which we used a long time ago as a group. It was my preference a long time ago, but unfortunately it went through a stage where it missed a lot of trades and caused a couple of users in the group to lose money, because it doesn't add the stop loss and the take profits to your exchange. Everything's looked after by their bots, and the problem is if their bots are offline, or they're doing an update, or a trading view alert doesn't get pinged to their site and things like that. It's something that I didn't feel comfortable as a trader. Then we had Alertron. Alertron is absolutely a fantastic service as well, but not as user friendly as it is if you know how to code, or have a coding logic in if else statements and things like that. Don't have to be like a JavaScript coder, or don't have to be a PineScript coder or anything like that. It's just you have to have a kind of an understanding of how code works to be able to use Alertron. I did build a Alertron script builder, which helps you to create the code for Alertron. And then there's endless margin. Endless margin could you say that again? Sorry about that. Endless Margin is a community member of David Tech. that he started building. He saw the problems that we were having connecting to the exchanges, and decided to build a Python bot that automatically connects doesn't automatically, but connects to Bybit only, and does the API connection. But it's very, very simple. Works mainly on David Tech's scripts. And the reason I was talking about it a bit last week was because as a group, I decided to financially help out, because obviously these kind of bots cost a certain amount of money to set up, and obviously servers are expensive and things like that. And he's now become an integrated part of the team. So the idea was to build the way that I see Endless Margin is we have TradeLab AI that's going to give you extra confluence and things like that. We have Alertron, which is going to be for people that are deep into code and want to be able to use trailing but actually work out different ways or add extra confluence using code and things like that. I was looking for the simplest possible way to get TradingView to connect directly to Bybit, or in the future a couple of other exchanges, but Bybit at the moment connects directly through. And my idea when I was speaking to Endless is to help him to make this the fastest possible solution out there. We're not going to go out and add 150 different lines of code, or make it extremely complicated, or add Twitter confluence or anything like that. The idea behind me helping is just to make this as the fastest possible solution. So you're getting your alert sent directly from TradingView to the servers of Endless Margin, and that server will ping Bybit as quick as possible to get your entry as fast as possible. So they're the three maybe four connections. There's also 3 commas. 3 commas will work, but the problem with 3 commas is they're very much integrated into their DCA bots and things like that. So it's something that I moved a bit away from as myself. So the three that I think are the best are TradeLab AI, you have Alertron, and obviously Endless Margin, which is currently we're currently testing and currently trying to get the fastest possible entries. I will happily go through.
3 commas is much slower than TradeLab or Endless Margin.
Have I been? I haven't really tested 3 commas for quite a while, because, like I said, I've kind of moved away because for me it was too integrated into the DCAs and wasn't adapted as well as I would like it to be through alerts from TradingView. They have their whole system. They have their own. Now they have their own bots, they have their own coders, they have everything that's needed or wanted inside of a nutshell, and inside of one place. Sorry, and the alerts from TradingView have become almost secondary to their system. So I was looking for platforms that pretty much dedicate their services to the alert from TradingView going to the exchanges to make them as fast as possible. There is a video by another guy which is easily found on YouTube, where he compares all of the services from Alertron to 3 commas to find the quickest entries. Alertron is very fast again. It went through a bit of a slower period last week, I think, where it's my personal opinion. I mean, I was only trading with it for, I was trading it for, I think it was the 2-week period where I was doing it's a week period of where I was testing them all on this 4-minute strategy. the on the strategy that I posted all the results. They're getting a bit confused again, and they were around the 7 seconds at the time. Wonderbit was on 3 seconds, but like I said, Wonderbit doesn't have the stop loss and take profits. And when you're looking for sniper fast entries, they were much slower at taking profit than others, because obviously you're waiting for the bot to go and take profit instead of it being a limit order or whatever inside the exchange. So do I think 3 commas is slower? I honestly don't know. There, like I said, there's a video on YouTube that tests.
It really doesn't matter to me which one I use. I just want to use the one that we think is going to be the best execution for the strategy. So
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm working towards. I often talk with Jake from Trade Lab. He's a great guy. He's got a great system. They're two totally different things. I mean, like I said, the Trade Lab AI, if you're looking for something that gives you a little bit more extra confluence with the market alerts or whatever they've added on top of that, plenty of extra layers that you can add onto your trading strategy outside of TradingView. As Endless Margin is pretty much geared towards David Tech or indicators inside of TradingView, getting as fast as possible entries. That's the idea of me helping out Endless Margin, to be honest. So.
Well, actually, I had one thing to add about the 3 commas thing. 3 commas actually doesn't let you hook up bots to Bybit with perpetuals. So it wouldn't be an option for most people at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as a
very true. It was one of the reasons that we kind of were looking for a different one. That was when we come across Wonderbit at the very beginning of David Tech. It was that was one of the questions that come up quite a lot. No problem. No, thanks for the questions. So a couple of people have asked how to set up Endless Margin. I'll go through that very, very quickly, and then I'm going to do a very short 10-minute video, which I'll put up here on this site here, so you can find it easily. So you can add the alerts, etc., very easily. It's pretty simple. You go to david.tech. You go up the top here, and you click David Tech Bots. Excuse me. David Tech Bots still in beta. Like I said, I'm currently trying to make it as fast as possible. We're trying to make a platform around it so that you can see your profit and loss and things like that inside of this page here. But at the moment, it's just literally as quick as possible. Well, just getting those entries as quick as possible. So you go to here to the second tab here and click, and this will create you a code generator. Now this is just going to create the code generator for Endless Margin. It's pretty simple, to be honest. You go up here and you go click mainnet. So you're obviously connected to the mainnet instead of testnet. You can either use the testnet or the mainnet for both of these. We have the API keys, which are generated on Bybit, which I'll go through in a second. Then you choose whether you're using limit orders, your fixed amount or a percentage of your balance, the leverage that you'd like on a buy or a sell. We have cancel orders after a certain amount of period of time, which obviously is great, especially with indicators if they don't get filled or anything like that. We have our margin mode, which is just the mode of where you're using. Default is isolated. I only ever use isolated personally myself. Close positions on new trade entry, so that will close any open positions that are already open. And then we just have things to connect it in with Discord and things like that for your event log, so you can see that. I will go through this as well in the video because it helps you to see and log information about your current connection to the. Sorry, it gives you a log of your entries and things like that. So if you ever get any issues or anything like that, you'll be able to see it quite easily. Oh, okay. So. What I'll do is I'll go through very quickly how to connect the APIs. This is that $400 account that I was setting up. I'm just going to mute the mic. If anybody does get muted on Discord, it's because we can hear you. Please just put a message into the chat at the side, the AMA chat, and we'll unmute you at any time. I know that it can be a bit frustrating. So we go up here, we're going to create an API. So we click the avatar up the top here and click API. That will give us our API management system here. You go to the top at the top here and you create a new API key. Now currently Bybit haven't added us to the list of APIs here. You will find us in here eventually very soon. They're currently adding us at the moment. But you create first of all by creating and giving yourself a name. So Bybit bot. That's going to give a name to your API code, and we can add our orders, positions, and if you're using USDC, then you won't need the wallet, but I check all three up from here, these ones here, and a wallet, we obviously don't want to be able to give transfers from the account, so you don't need that one there. Restricted IPs I've left as all IPs up here, so we can now just submit. Now that will create us a API. It's going to ask me for my Google 2FA. Let me see if I can find my phone. Did I leave my phone here? I'm going to just find that very quickly. Sorry about this, I should have pulled this up before starting off. Okay, so obviously that's going to be the two-part authentication, which I'm going to add very, very quickly. Okay, obviously I'm going to delete this after the call. And then obviously, so what I've got here is the secret and the API key. We very much appreciate it if you didn't empty my account before before I finish this stream. But anyway, so you copy these here. Obviously, these are secret identities, so you shouldn't share them like I have today here. Obviously, I will delete those ones after this call here. Then we go back to our bot up here, and we're going to add them here like I have done here. I already had this set up here. Going to click back to mainnet. We have the coin pair, which is automatically entered by the indicator itself. We have market orders, limit orders, the fixed amount or percentage of your balance. So I will put a fixed amount of $20 as it's only a $400 account. Your buy leverage and your sell leverage, so your short and long leverage, and then whether you want to cancel those orders. Margin mode, I've left it isolated. Close positions to yes, and I've pretty much left it as is. You can also stop trading when your USDT balance is below a certain amount. I'm going to copy that. So this gives us our code that we need for setting up the bots. So the only things that are interesting us today are this one and this one here. In the near future, when we're doing trading stops and things like that, these ones will be interesting to us as well. We have a David Tech now. Okay, so they have obviously validated it. Fantastic. Okay, I didn't realize that they have now. Obviously, somebody's just posted a thing that must have been since this morning. So I can now close this over here. And I need to go back over here and go here. Sorry, I'm just going to have a look very quickly. Apparently somebody just said we have been added to... we have been added there. So you can choose the application name David Tech there. That was obviously since this morning, so that's fantastic. Right, we go here and we can have our API entry and short. So these are the two that are interesting to us. Nothing changes, even though I just showed you the key and everything. Nothing changes at all. You just literally have to choose David Tech here instead. So you can copy this here, and you go back over to the indicator. Go over to the indicator. I'm just going to hide this one here. Go to the indicator here and press the cog here. And you scroll all the way back down to the bottom here. And you can literally paste the code from the two over here. Entry short here. So that's going to paste the code from Endless Margins servers over here. So like I said, we have the short entry and the long entry, which are here. We press OK. And then we literally set up an alert. So the important thing to understand with the alerts are that when we're using Fibonacci levels and things like that, we're going to be using the alert function. So it's any alert function call. We don't need to change to set these up here. They are just alerts to pop up on our screen, or if you're using maybe a fixed percentage, something a bit more advanced, you can code in yourself into these here. But the one that we've been using today with what we're doing over there is this here. So any alerts function call. going to set up a webhook URL. So we click this button here, which is the webhook URL. Go back to endless margin over here to our David Tech bot, copy the URL. So that will copy a URL to your board here. And that's going to give us a David Tech URL here, which is our variable bots we create. And then you're connected. So now what happens is it'll go away, and as soon as you get an alert pop up over here, there is Smart Money ABC. As soon as you pop up an alert up here, it will directly connect to Endless Margin, the David Tech bots servers, and it will take an entry on your Bybit account with all the setups that you've just set up with. So that's how you set up the bots very quickly on Endless Margin. How to set up the API codes. Thank you very much for the screenshot. I didn't realise that we are now on the Bybit exchange. That's fantastic. That's great news for everybody. So that's how to set up bots very quickly to take the ABC entries.
David.
Yes.
What about those ones that have a Binance account?
Yeah, Binance is Binance. You can set up very easily with Alertron. Vanandi will work as well, which is a great platform, which is free of charge. You just have to connect directly to to your Binance account with them. If you haven't been referred by another user when creating your Binance account, it's free to use as well, and they have absolutely tons of fantastic options. Which you can connect, like trading stop losses. They'll be able to record all of your entries as well. That's a great option. Binance will be part of Endless Margins bot in the near future. Just focusing at the moment on making those entries as fast as possible, and then as soon as we've got everything as fast as possible, I will start adding other people's APIs to it.
All right, cool. What about TradeLab?
TradeLab AI is TradeLab AI. I believe you can connect to Binance, FTX, and a couple of others. Let me have a look. TradeLab. Oh, sorry, AI.
I'm asking. I saw some messages saying that they can work with the dynamic TP and SL, like with the Fibonacci. That's why.
Sorry.
That he was working on. I saw that was one thing I wanted to mention about the TradeLab, was that it seemed like Jake was really active in trying to add functionality to it, which might be promising for everything moving forward. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. Your questions are helpful. Absolutely. Like I said, it's a platform that I think is very good as well. I don't believe that the endless margin or different uses completely. Of course, on some functions, obviously, one's going to be much better than the other. Like I said, TradeLab AI, if you're looking for lots of extra confluence or being able to double check any entries before they go or anything like that, certainly is a great way to go forward. The endless margin is just simple. That's all I'm looking for, keeping it as simple as possible, so that those entries can be made simply and as fast as possible. So it depends what you're looking for. I'm not sure that TradeLab AI works with Binance. I know that they work with Bybit and FTX, but I don't know about Binance. Just have a look to see if we can see.
All right. One more question.
Sure.
Yeah, I know we're talking about bots, but I'm on the screen right now, and it showed me like an ABC alert for a pair.
Right.
Entry. Okay. And I was checking it. It got to the stop loss. But my question is, on the backtest results, it was varying, like if the price went up with the candle open, if the price went up and hit the stop loss, it would change the backtest result. and if it went down, it would change it again. So what I mean is, it only the backtest results only take into account the closed candle to get the stop loss, but the stop loss was hit before that. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll take into account the idea that's what you've just said and see if that is a problem. I'll have a look in the next update. Like I said, in the next update, there will be options for other people's back testers as well that you'll be able to test as well. So you'll have the option to use other people's back testers as well, so that you get a bit more confluence on those back testers. It just, like I said, it's meant to be there for it's meant to be there for a guide, more than a guide, just for us to be able to work out what would potentially be good confluence and things like that. It supports multiple exchange. Yes, so somebody just said that TradeLab AI does accept Binance, so Bitmart, FTX, yeah. So for the stop loss, things like that, if that is a problem, it will be I'll look at it in the next update. Anything that you spot or things like that, if you don't mind just putting them into the ABC improvements. I go through them daily, more than daily. I go through them about 3 or 4 times a day to try and find anybody's suggestions and ideas, and then I will code them in. And if I find bugs or anything like that, I will remove them and iron everything out in the process of building this.
Sure, I'll do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll do that.
Thanks, mate. But first of all, we're halfway through. Well, we're closer to the end than we probably are the beginning of the. But I'd like to just say thanks to everybody for all of the help that everybody's given me to building this, all the wonderful ideas, the bug reports, which are absolutely and totally essential to this whole trading strategy for it to work. I certainly couldn't have done it without everybody being here and helping me find all of those problems and ideas, lots of confluence ideas, helping me find solutions, sending me code and things like that. It certainly has been a whale of a ride. Thank you very much to everybody for all of the help that you've given me. I do hope that everybody will continue profitable and sharing those screenshots like we did over the past week and a bit, because it certainly is motivational and helps me to want to code and make this one the absolute perfect trading strategy. Well, perfect. No trading strategy will ever be perfect, but as best as possible through the long term. Hi, Josh. How you going, mate?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Very well, thank you.
So I actually had a list of a couple of things that I had noted down to discuss with you over the weekend, but then I think you've already had most of those questions.
Okay.
I actually, the thing is, in the morning today, I was right on my screen when I got an alert for, image ad, and I just watched it, and it was reading, and I tried to figure out why it was reading, and actually, I believe so that was happening because of the discount premium. Let me share something with you. I had actually posted it on Discord, but I'm pretty sure you have not seen it because you get like 2,000 messages a day.
It has been a bit of a hectic week, yeah. But, yeah, cool.
Like after every second post that I make.
It's not a problem, thank you very much. But no, yeah, it has been a week of as fast as I can, and it's hard by the time I've finished typing. The questions are a mile away, so yeah, I apologise if I don't reply, but I will. I'll do my best to reply to everybody. Where have you posted it, though, Josh?
I am putting it up in the chat.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so premium discount.
So I managed to grab a quick video. It's been cut obviously because it was like over 2 times from 5 minutes. I've removed the unnecessary spaces. Basically, I had to switch all the indicators on and off, and I realized that it was probably repainting because of the discount premium thing. It was edge. The candle was on the edge of the discount premium strict zone. So it was, as it was going above it, it was repainting as not an ABC entry, and then back in it started showing up again.
Okay, great. Okay. Just so everybody knows what my plans and what I've been working on for this, these confluence areas I added because obviously we're trying to increase the win rates, etc. My idea is to I'm not sure how I can do it on the premium discount, but I'll find a way. Things like the Wata Ota, the Wata Ata, the wave trends and things like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the is confirmed, which would be the confirmed candle actually is going through, and I'm going to add a checkbox to all of these so that you can wait for it to be an absolutely confirmed signal before taking in entries. That will remove all repainting. Then for the discount and premium, how can I do that? What is the result? That is the 50 line, so it means that the 50 line is moving. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll turn the 50 line into a static variable, so that when it so pretty much same thing for the discount premium. I'll put a checkbox at the side here. Maybe I'll move the discount premium into a separate box at the side over here. And what I'll do is it'll work out a way of making the 50 line static, so it doesn't move throughout the whole of the trade, and that information will not move, so it moves up and down. It's something that I was aware of, that I did speak about inside of the general chat. We're more towards the Waterata and the wave trends and things like that. Something that I'm working on to improve and remove any repainting from these indicators as well. I didn't realise that the discount and the premium would have done it itself, but like you said, if it's on the edge, it will not realise. It will move that line. As you can see, your trade is probably, is it on the strict version or the not strict version? Yeah, the strict. So as you can see on the trade, you're on just below that 75 line, or the 25 line, sorry. So that 25 line might move, which would have caused the problem. So what I'll do is I'll make that static and make it so that it's not possible for it to move in the eventual case that an ABC comes up. So thank you for pointing it out, Ojesh. I didn't realise that I was doing that.
Actually, when I removed all the indicators, it was, I mean, for another trade, for this one, after removing the indicators, it was like, it did not repaint. But then, on other trades, I have seen that it repaints either way, with or without condenses. Which, I also have a few screenshots for that. Let me post it in the ABC section. And also, yes, the frequency of alerts. So, like, if I share my alert log with you, you notice that I'm getting alerts on on 15-minute intervals, so which was the issue that we are kind of getting alerts on the next bars.
Yes.
But then I'm also getting alerts on 18-minute time frames and 20 minutes and some even 43. So I'm not sure what's exactly going on over here.
No, I don't know what's going on either. I'll have a look at your trading, your log to see. Like I said, the crossover was been the issue, I believe, which I've fixed. I'm going to push an update after this call, which will allow for these entries. As you can see, the entries are no longer on the 00, they're on the 26, the 46, 23. So I believe that now fixes will fix that issue. But the 48, I do not know why it would have got onto a 48. I'll have to look at the log, to be honest.
Sure. Everything in post on the ABC grouping section.
Okay.
The thing was, I just wanted to understand how the fast works. So, as per my understanding, it basically the higher or the lower value, and obviously once it crosses the BOS value, you send an yes message to your, as I'd say like a binary yes or no value, whatever it is, but you just accept it. So technically speaking, it should not repaint by law, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But we were speaking at the beginning of the call about this. What's happening, I believe, is the pivot length. We started off with 20 pivot length, which tends not to repaint as much. But now we're moving to lower lengths of pivot. I need to separate the code from the pivot lengths from the ABC, because currently it's relying on these this zigzag here. What I need to do is separate that one from the other one so that they are two separate codes, so that they do not rely on each other. And when this one decides to move and repaint, it will not remove the previous ABC previous ABC. So something that we spoke about at the very beginning of this call, and is something that I was made aware of, I think yesterday or today, and I've been working on solutions for that over the past couple of hours as such.
Correct. That sounds great. Except there's one issue that is actually repainting on 15 and 20, 10 and 20 as well.
Okay, like I said, the higher the pivot, the less probability there is of a repaint. What happens, as I said in the beginning of the call, is it comes up, it takes X number of candles, and those candles are obviously not fixed in stone on the one the account on the settings that you've got at the moment. What I'm doing is trying to fix those candles in sort of like stone, as I say, so that it will so that this here, no matter whether it repaints or not, will no longer take into account the repainting. It's just a static line which will not be removed. Like I said, the higher the pivot, obviously, the less chance of a repaint, because these break of structure levels here are confirmed more with a higher number of candles. When you get really low, it obviously makes it a little bit harder, but in the next update, I will treat that issue and find out why there is, and well, I'll make sure that there is no repainting whatsoever.
That sounds perfect. And also, I have been getting alerts twice sometimes, even though it's up 10 pivot indicator and a 20 pivot indicator, but sometimes I've got an alert for the same pivot twice. I will send that screenshot as well. And yes, this thing. Just give me a second. Yeah. So, have you thought about this? Like a force no repainting option. Basically, like if it repaints once, then let's just state the value true so that it does not goes away. Because as now, all my back tests that I've done with some settings that I have figured out on the 15-minute time frame, like it did work amazing. Like I have even managed to get like 90% win rates on some trades without compromising stop loss or the SL, which is absolutely amazing. The only issue I have now is that after setting up the indicator and seeing it repaint, maybe there were some entries that would have repainted previously that are not coming up in the history. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Something, like I said, we discussed at the very beginning of the call. I agree. In total transparency, it was something that I've tried to remove from all of my indicators. I didn't realize that when building it, we were going to test in the way that we were testing it. Things have changed as we've gone along, and it seems like yes, there are repainting or ABCs. I need to work out a way of, like you just said, recording each and every single ABC as they are, so that they don't remove themselves. The backtester results. So I need to also look at the backtester results, because the backtester results should include all ABCs, either they're repainted or not, because it's a completely different situation. What I'll do is I'll add the other backtester to today as quick as I can. If it fits in with the code of thingy, I'll try and release it as quick as I do it in the code of the indicator. If I can get it in, I'll try and get it in as well. That way I'll be able to compare the two results. Repainting on the actual indicator itself, like I said, I will work out ways of separating the two codes, so it removes the pivot from the actual code itself, so that it won't repaint. But that's the only thing I can really do in the next couple of days. The slow alerts, like you said, I believe I fixed and spoke about at the beginning of the call as well. With this line here, I've been testing the several parts of the alerts that sent. The two alerts that you got, I believe was fixed in the most previous update. But as I was updating and testing with everybody, I removed the drop down which controls the alerts, which I'll put back on in a very short period of time. It was just confusing, creating confusion between me and a couple of other people in the test groups and things like that. So I wanted to try and get it so that we're getting as quick as possible, but I will add that again afterwards, which means that you will be able to control only one per bar or one per close or whatever you want to be able to control it with.
And again, the alerts that you have set up, it's working perfectly. Like it's giving all the information that I need. That's just perfect.
Fantastic.
Also, what like in the end when you're done with this, like obviously you'll be working on the you're saying that you can pass as entries possible. How close do you think can we get to the BOS line?
There's several options. There's several options which I discussed in the general chat yesterday. We have several options. We have an option of creating a bot which will give us an ABC line, and then we're going to send to something like Endless Margin or Jake's Trade Lab or whatever, which will send us, as soon as this BOS line is created, we could create a limit order, and that means that we would be in with our limit order before the actual before the ABC is actually created. So we'll be on the spot, on the dot. Otherwise, we're going to be using and relying on TradingView's indicator, TradingView's alerts. The problem with TradingView alerts is that there's maybe a second delay off of TradingView, maybe 2-second delay from a server. So you're looking between 3 and 7. This is what I've generally tested myself and looked at other people, other servers. They're looking at a 3 and 7 second delay. I've been discussing with other people that do this as jobs and things like that, work for hedge funds and things like that. And the general concept is to try and get a lower than 3 second entry when trying to get these super sniper fast entries. So that will be the objective of Endless Margin, is to get entries that are less than 2 seconds. But I do believe that also the option of being able to use a limit order when already creating that the ABC with maybe a timeout or an alert that will add your stop losses and your take profits after, because obviously you won't be able to work out where that low is to find out where your stop loss is. Maybe putting a potential temporary percentage stop loss at the very beginning, and then updating with another alert afterwards is something that I'm looking at as well.
Alright, so like, for example, the chart you have open, there's a BOS line in the end with a wick going up. The last one?
This one here?
Yeah, so for example, if we were to trade this as fast as possible, so let's say that the wick goes like just a marginally goes down, will that trigger the bot?
This depends what you're doing. This one wouldn't have been called anyway because of this is an invalid line. But let's just imagine that it was a valid ABC. Creating the oh god, I've completely made a mistake there. Sorry about that. Okay, we're taking our ABCs. Would be A, B, C like that. So this line would have actually been longer, creating a valid ABC pattern. What we'll be doing is we'll be looking for the bot to come up. We have the two options, like I said. If this was a valid ABC pattern, we could have put a limit order as we've created that BOS, which means that as it comes up, we create a limit order for the actual line there. If it comes back down and tests that line, the entry will all be automatically activated inside the exchange. Second option, as I said, the second option would be the general alerts as soon as it comes back and then comes back down. Oh, I picked the wrong tool again. As soon as it comes up and back down, it sends an alert from TradingView directly to the exchange as it does now, and does everything inside that single alert, so it works in one single go as such. So that wouldn't change anything whatsoever at the moment.
Alright, So basically, when the fast will be back up again, and when you're releasing the next update with all these, these repeating issues solved, and you'll be getting alerts right as the WIG breaks down the BOS line, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes. And then the idea of limit orders, I'm in discussions with Endless Margin at the moment to try and add it so that it's part of Endless Margin's tool as well, so that if you want to do this as a limit order situation, you can as well.
Sure.
The
only this is that let's just assume that this wick comes up and it goes down below this BOS line but does not close, but we're still already in the trade, and then it goes back up again. So what does happen in that situation?
Well, then there's two options. Either you can use a kind of a trailing stop loss system, like I just said. So, for instance, at the very, very beginning, until a certain amount of time, you can choose. We'll work out a way of doing this. You can choose a percentage stop loss. This is how I traded it in the first place. Was a percentage stop loss of 0.9%, and then I trailed that stop loss until I was happy with bringing it to break even. That would be the first idea. The second idea is obviously you'll be stopped out because it's hit the stop loss, so you'll be stopped out. The third option would be there is no third option. I guess my idea with a limit order, like I said a second ago, was a temporary stop loss, which would be at whatever percentage you set inside of your API code. And then that stop loss will obviously either hit to this one would obviously be stopped out, but it will either hit that it will either do the high, which you'll be able to define. You'll be able to set as a trailing stop loss, so you can take it down to 0.5% after it's hit a BOS or something like that. You could follow. What else could you follow? Following an EMA wouldn't help you. ATRs, I could have a look to see if ATRs, following an ATR as a trading stop loss, we could follow that as well. But those kind of things I will happily add as trading stop losses, so that your stop loss could start at 0.9% or whatever you want to set it at, and trail it until it gets to either there or even further down on your trade. So they're the options.
It sounds great. That's kind of it from mine. I mean, I'm just kind of enjoying this pattern trading manually because the alerts are not going on very well for me. But manually, still, I've had a win rate of like 90% for the past 9 trades I've taken.
Yeah. It has a humongous potential. The indicator needs the work that it needs. Like I said, I've been trading it for. Like I say a long time. If you're a trader that's been trading for 10 years, what I've been trading is obviously not a long time. But since I started the David Tech, I've always been favorably saying this trading strategy is one of the better ones that I've found personally. I love the way it's close entries, gets quick entries, quick out. It's adaptable to many coin pairs. It's adaptable to different time frames. And yeah, the indicator itself needs the work to finish it up and move it out of beta. But I do believe it has humongous potential, and I'm happy that you've had a 90% win rate on 9 trades. That's great.
Also, can we do this? I mean, pretty sure it's not really going to work out, but can we have 2 pivot lines in one indicator?
Well, currently there is 2 pivot lines in pivot lines for the zigzag patterns. Yeah, so currently it already has 2 lines in there. We have the change of character and the pivot line.
No, I mean the settings that we like the pivot length.
Yeah, so what I'm working on at the moment is I'm working on a couple of algorithms to improve it. One which would be, like you just said, more of a confirmation pivot line, which will give you a minimum and a maximum. The other one is an idea from RW89 in our group, would be a kind of an average number of pivots between each of these lines. So it automatically generates a pivot number, which would be potentially the best, obviously, because it's working it out on previous data. Those kind of things I'm coding in there as well, and I will add a second pivot line number so that it's a minimum pivot line as well between the two.
One thing I've been doing with my trading, again, it's all been manual, but I've been using like a higher time frame, like the 15-minute, and then I've also been using like a 5-minute with the same kind of pivot lengths and everything. But what I've been doing is when I see like a confirmed bear or bull signal on the 15-minute, I'll look at the 5-minute and like basically get a confirmed kind of confirmed direction, right?
Okay.
And then trade on a lower time frame. And I've seen that it's been helping me basically pick, the right entry type thing.
Yeah, that's great.
So it might be interesting to see how that could be used as confluence too in the future.
Absolutely. It's another thing that I've also been working on with Andre, who works with me, is a multi-time frame pivot length. Where it goes away. I don't know if I've got it on my chart somewhere. Let's have a look. I don't know what I would be looking for. Oh, it might be that one there. Is it any name? No, that's not it. Yeah, I've been working on a multi-time frame pivot length, which will look for ABCs on a 15-minute time frame when you're on a 5 or whatever you choose. Obviously, you can't go back too far because we're limited to the amount of data we can get for a higher time frame, but it certainly, like you just said, seems to be a very good idea for finding there's several things that are interesting. Is the fair value gaps, being able to find them on a higher or a lower time frame, because they're always great for confluence in the trading system, trading setup. The OBs, the order blocks, I'd like to find them on lower time frames so we can see on multiple time frames. So they're things that I'm working on multiple time frames as well to try and get them included as well.
That's great. Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Cool. Okay. Cool, so I don't think there's any real questions. Let me have a look. Okay, thanks to FibX, this is not 3 commas. Thanks, David. Will the live stream be uploaded on your Twitch or YouTube? Yes, it's on YouTube. Unfortunately, I still have audio problems with the Discord voice, so Vlad is also recording as well. We'll upload that one as well. I'm not sure why it is, but unfortunately I can't record the voices on Discord. They keep chopping out, but I'll try and find a solution. I've been saying it for about 7 months. I just can't get him to record. I don't know why. David, missed the first part. Did you record it? Yes, Vlad is recording it at the same time as me. Less than stop loss. Okay, I have a question about the fib take profits. Sometimes it's less than the stop loss. That is now fixed in the most recent update. To update, you have to remove or have to hide the indicator or just leave it there and re-add it. You should be on 0.7.1 beta. To remove any entries where the stop loss is less than the take profit, you literally have to go here and go filter small R&R, and then you'd put your minimum R&R here, and that will remove any entries where it's smaller. The R&R is smaller than the entry itself. Okay, David, can you explain the alert type again? Wouldn't use the ABR. Right, yeah, so if you're using the settings here, and you want the Fibonacci's and things like that put into trading directly to Bybit, you literally have to go over here to the 3 dots over here, and well, you have to obviously fill out them first here, fill out these here, and then you have to go over to the 3 dots up here, click add alert or smart money plus ABC. and you leave it as default. Any alert functions called, because that's the only alert function that we can use to do a find and replace, to replace the Fibonacci levels inside of that JSON query that we get from all of them, or the API code that we get from everybody. So that's the only one we can use. Then you press create. I won't create it again, and that will set up the alerts for you. I will also be doing a full video on Monday, on Friday this week, which will go through the 2-minute strategy that I did, which I trade semi-manually for a couple of I think it was a week that I did the sending of results inside of Discord. I'm going to be going through that, and then I'm going to be going through the creation of the indicator and the problems that I faced and things like that. And I'll also be going through, like I just have, setting up the bot from A to Z, so that you've got a recorded version which is easy to understand for connecting this two bots. Would you consider building a Python-based? Absolutely, would love to have a Python-based version of this. I'd like to get the trading view version done first, so that I can just create the best possible trading view indicator for those that don't want to, and afterwards I'll set up some kind of Python based, where you just literally have to set your settings up inside the david.tech, choose the confluences that you want on Python, and that will automatically trade all of them. Or I'll do some kind of open source version for Python. Is Python better than TradingView? Absolutely. Well, in my own opinion, absolutely yes. TradingView is fantastic for anybody who's not looking to code or bother themselves with coding, because coding's complicated, and I totally understand. If you understand Python, you can manipulate every single last bit of your entry, your stop loss, your take profit. You can take data from anywhere if you want to include Twitter feeds or sentiments, not feeds, but sentiments or anything into your trading strategy. You can absolutely do that with Python. Python, I have started building a couple of Python scripts, which I just haven't had time to go through, which let me just make sure that I haven't copied and pasted anybody's information into this one. So I've done some Python scripts here, which I started building, but I just haven't had time to do them. Now I'm focusing on this indicator. I will offer some kind of Python alternative, because it'll be easy for me to create this into Python and just improve on it. There'll be a web interface on David Tech, so that you can hook it up and not have to worry about the coding, and there'll also be a open source version for anybody who wants to help improve it. Is the fib take profit set by the RR entry? No, the fib take profit is set by the fib pool. The RR entry just filters out bad trades where the stop loss is much bigger than the risk to reward. Where do I find the screener? The screener is on david.tech. If you go to david.tech here, david.tech, david.tech, connect TV. The first one here, sorry Chris, the first one here is the indicator, and this one is the screener. So we have the two top ones, which is the screener and the indicator. Can we use the Python? Will we be able to use the Python version? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, I'll build some kind of web interface with it, so that you'll be able to just add your Bybit and Bybit APIs into it, how you'd like to trade it, for instance, stop losses, take profits, things like that. I will build into it. Yeah, very much like the open source Jest platform. Now, the Jest platform, I don't know if they may have recently added, but I don't know if they take shorts. That was one of the reasons that I never went into building that for Jest. Jest is an open source Python bot for cryptocurrencies. It's something that I looked at. It was based on Freak Trade, if I remember rightly. Freak Trade is very good as well, but exactly the same problem with that is they only take long entries. So I think that Jess is the same. I'm not sure. They may have added shorts in the past 6 months. I haven't looked since. But yes, something like that I will build as an open source platform, and then on the other side I'll have a version where you can just literally add your code, your entries, your exits, how you want to trade it, percentage wise, fib wise, risk to reward, exactly as you would be on TradingView up here. So it'll be exactly the same thing. You'll have the same sort of options as this here, and then you'll be able to hook it up, and it will use something like endless margin spot to actually take the entries. During my backtesting, I have some weird entry points like. Let me have a look at the screenshot. During my backtesting, I have some weird entry points like this setup where the entry point is above the target. The entry point is above the target. The entry point's the white line. So the entry point is where it is, and I may be wrong. I can't see the problem, to be honest. The entry point is the white line, your take profit is the green line, and the red line is the stop loss. I can see that you have a BOS which is a bear, and an ABC which is a rocket, and it seems to have taken both those entries. The red line of the one which is off screen is covered by the ABC, I believe, because that's the recent low. So I can't really see the problem. The entry above the TP, he means. Yes, TP. During my backtesting, I have some weird entry points like this setup where the entry point is above the target. The entry point is above the TP. But the white line is okay. The white line actually continues below the sorry, yeah, okay. I think I see what you're saying. The actual white line, the red line, and the green line are literally there for you to be able to work out if you're taking it manually. The entries, they aren't in the slightest any code behind them, they're just there. I can see what you're saying is that the entry's already gone to the top take profit as the white line has shown, but the idea is actually where you get in on that green line using either, like I said, limit orders or conditional orders, or using bots. So the alert would have gone off on the candle that went over, and then it waits for that to confirm for you to show you those lines with a take profit and stop loss. But they're not actually coded into, there's no real logic behind them other than them being lines for guides. So the idea behind them was that everybody could actually just scroll back and see where entries were potentially and stop losses were potentially and things like that. There's no real code logic behind them. They're just there for confluence. Maybe I should add an offset -1 so that they actually get to where they should be on the chart without doubt. But I can see what you're saying, I think.
Hi, Dave. I have shared something in the ABC improvements column.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I will have a look. ABC
Sure.
improvements.
I realized that I had taken screenshots of me getting alerts after 4 candles as well, and some alerts getting triggered 4 times for one single trade, things like that. Maybe I have something wrong in my end, or is it? I'm not really sure. Let me share, my settings for the alert as well.
If you don't mind, that'd be great.
But
right.
I'm not sure what I shared, but it's really like a single option. I've shared it anyway.
Okay, that's great.
If you want to also share on the screen, David.
Yeah, I'm just literally flicking through. I haven't. It's all in the ABC improvements. If anybody wants to be able to see it. I honestly don't know the reply to the question. I'll have to backtest myself to see why. why you would have got an entry 4 candles late. I don't know. Honestly, TradingView's alert system I've been fighting with since the very beginning. I do think that it's time that I built these into some kind of Python alternative because yeah, I've been fighting with the late late alerts for a long time. So I'll have to. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have a look to see why. I'll see if there's something. It might be something to do with the multi-time frame. It might be something to do with I have no real idea why it would take four candles. One candle I can totally understand, because obviously one candle, unless you're using the loop back forward. If you're using the loop forward, obviously it's waiting for confluence 4 candles later. That could.
I'm using look back for both, but my look back is set to 1.
Okay, so that would bring you to 2 candles maximum. Yeah, I'd have to have a look and test, because I honestly don't know why it would take 4 candles. 4 candles is completely random as a number. I have no idea why it would take 4 candles. The look back, like I said, would increase by the number of look back plus 1, because obviously you have to include the 0. What else could make 4 candles? 4 candles, that is just like a random number. It's ridiculous. I have to test your settings to see why it would take 4 candles. I have no honest idea why it would take 4 candles to alert. It's like I said.
Yeah, sure. Definitely it was not about the candles, because I remember this trade that I've recorded, that video. It was also, I think, after a few candles of being confirmed in ABC. But I mean, it was kind of deciding whether it is an ABC or not. But it was also pretty late, if you can see it from that video.
Yeah, I can see.
But again, I shared things. Feel free to just test it out once.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for sharing. Like I said, I will have a look to see why. I need to test other people's settings to see why it would happen. But like I said, 4 candles I don't understand in the slightest, unless, let me have a look very quickly again. Unless it's like recognizing a candle. No, that's 4 candles. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. No, I don't understand. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to try and emulate the settings that you've put into Discord. That way, I'll have a look to see why.
I think why don't we do one thing, because you have other things to deal with. So I will test it out myself, and you give me an update. Like whenever you see the next, the fast update, I'll set up all these alerts, and if this happens again, I'll just bring it up to you, because you're already doing it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have a look. I'll always test other people's settings to see if I can emulate the same problems. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know why 4 candles. I guess something that the only way I can debug something like that is to actually have the same settings and watch it on the screen until an alert comes and find out why 4 candles would be. I'll have a look. I'll see.
Yes, that thing. I've actually set up like 100 alerts, and only one of them did this. I mean, a few of this, but like others were really fine. So it's like finding a needle in a haystack for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you send up that, that fast one update, when you're fixing repainting issues from your end, I'll test it out. If it comes up again, I'll just let you know. You should do a better thing to get updated.
No, not at all. But thank you very much. All of your help is very much appreciated. Like I said, we'll get there. We'll get it absolutely perfect before, like I said, removing it from beta. Yeah, in a way, as we're adding more and more confluences and things like this, there's going to be more and more little things that stop the entries getting sent off, and I'm just going to have to move them, but add them, recode them as I go along. I'm also, like I said, adding code that from other, obviously this issue isn't that, but from other people's code, like the water atta, which I'm having to update to PineScript 5, things like that. So if anybody does see anything that looks a bit out of the ordinary, please do tell me, and I will do my best to remove anything that I can out there. Yes, the price is above the green candle, green line, the alert appears. So you've also got a 4, no, yours is a 1, 2 candle above, so that makes no sense either, right? I'll have to, if you can send me your alert log or an image of your alert log, I'll be able to see why that is maybe. Daniel, how long would it take to build a strategy on Python? Not particularly long, because I've been coding Python strategies in the background for quite a long time. Pivot lines and all of that are very simple to find as open source. Things like if lots of people are starting to use the water atta, obviously that's going to take me a long time to code because those kind of confluences I haven't coded myself. The actual strict ABC, the things that I use like the premium and the oversold areas, very simple. What else will be very simple? The ABC, obviously, the ABC detection would be easy enough. Divergences are easy. Fair value gaps are easy. The fair value gap meter would be easy. EMAs on higher time frames, no problem whatsoever. Risk to reward, very easy. So it's really going to be if a lot of users are using things like the water atta, the wave trend, and things like wave trend would be quite easy, but the water atta, the TSI will be quite easy, but those kind of things in the confluence area, if a lot of people are using them, that's going to be the things that's going to slow it down. But other than that, it shouldn't take me too long.
David, I had a question about the overall trading concept. We're using ABCs as reversal patterns, but one of the questions I had about this is just so hard to not basically when you see it, you're like, maybe I should be trading it or something. But like the break structure or the change of character, like continuation idea, like does anyone trade this as a continuation thing rather than a reversal?
Yeah, so I guess in a way we're with the 200 EMAs and things like that, we're really just trading pullbacks and following the bigger trend in the main idea. The idea of the breaks of structure and the change of character and things like that was a secondary part to the trading strategy, which I was going to do some videos on to explain. The idea of that would be to use the breaks of structure and use the breaks of structure to identify the potential trend that we're in, and then use these change of characters to find ABCs below a break of structure. Let me try and find a decent. Let me make this chart a little bit smaller. For instance, we're in a downtrend, we're looking for changes of character inside of those breaks of structure here. If I was on 20, it would make more sense, I should imagine. 20. Yeah, we're using these change of characters to potentially find, like this one here, an ABC pattern inside of a break of structure and then follow that trend. That was a secondary idea that I wanted to discuss a bit later with everybody as part of the indicator. We also have things like OBs, like order blocks and fair value gaps and things like that. The ABC, to me, very much picked the same sort of entries as the order blocks. So that's why I didn't really go down the order block area yet. But the trend following idea using change of character, I think is another great trading strategy. It just needs to be a bit more back tested so that we can we can use that maybe for a trading strategy. But yes, it's something that a bit more,
because it seems like all the tools are there. It's a matter of applying it towards that direction too.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. There's tons of absolutely fantastic entries that you can get inside of the indicator. It's just finishing up this indicator so that so it works perfectly, so that I can then explain all of those entries to everybody. The ABC was just one that I traded for a long time. Well, a long time, like I said, depends. And then Chris and Crypto Care Bear put me on to the smart money concepts, which made me come back down this road and decide to build this indicator. And hopefully we'll have lots of different setups for everybody in the future.
Great.
I get lots of alerts from this thing here. Okay, do you have a plan to code more OBs? Yes, the OB, I'm currently, the order blocks, I'm currently working on low time frame working out. Yeah, on Wyckoff, all of this started was Wyckoff looks very much like the ABC patterns. What I'm trying to do is trying to emulate Wyckoff a little bit more inside of these ABC patterns in the long run, creating boxes around the overbought areas and the the distribution and the accumulation patterns, so we can identify ABCs inside that, which will obviously look like the UTED and the spring. Then what I'm trying to do is include multi-time frame OBs, so order blocks, which will allow us to either add to our entries or create new entries as we're following a trend in the long run. Trying to get that so that works on multiple time frames, so those entries are much better, giving us better risk to reward. I've got very close with the multiple time frame. Let me see if I can find it. The multi-time frame zigzags with OBs. Let me have a look to see if I can find it. Just bear me 2 seconds. I'll just pull this over because here very, very quickly. Just bear me 2 very quick seconds. I'll just go to Andrew's messages. Yeah. Sorry about this, it won't be long, just having a look here, there we go. So yeah, so working on this multi-time frame OB detector, which will work also on many time frames. I'm currently on the 15 minutes, so this one will be able to find OBs on order blocks on lower time frames and make them much smaller. And I'm working on that as well at the same time, so you can see these order blocks being built on lower time frames, which are much smaller. Also, that includes the zigzag. So the zigzag is now working on a 5 minute here. You can turn it in so that it works on an hour or on multiple time frames, which make them much more confirmed, increasing the size of your OB or your fair value gaps as well. So it's something that I'm working on multiple time frames as well. And lower time frames, like you said. And the Wyckoff, the idea of the Wyckoff, I'm trying to, like I said, look for redistribution and areas and distribution and trying to find an example, distribution and accumulation areas, so that we can identify where an accumulation or a sell-off climax would happen, and then we're looking for the springs and all of that kind of thing, so that we can not take every single ABC, but potentially just an ABC which is in the zone which would be of interest to us. That's where the idea of this comes from, which is the range. Now I need to continue improving on this to make us find the range of the previous day and the day at the moment. But this has a lot of potential as far as I can see, if I can work this out so that it works out better areas for taking entries where we're either in an oversold and overbought area, not in the same way as an RSI, but with previous data and things like trying to identify a seller's climax where selling slowing down and things like that. So isn't the white line the trade entry point? Yes, it's the white line which is the entry point. The green point is the take profit. But what was said by above, I can't find the message, was that he got an alert a couple of candles late, so he didn't manage to get in, or he or she, I can't find the entry, couldn't get in until it was too late. So that's why they asked if the entry was on the white line or a green line. Okay, cool. We've got through most of the questions. Let me have a look on YouTube. David, could you please explain the difference between break confirmation options? Break of structure is when a new high is made or a new low is made. So you're breaking the structure of a previous low or a high. And then we're looking for ABCs, which are reversals of that pattern. Will you be adding multiple ABC alerts, multi-time frame ABC alerts to the screener so that we can get alerts without changing the time frame? Unfortunately, that isn't possible. Something that I would like as well, but unfortunately, because the amount of data that we're already accumulating from TradingView, it's extremely hard to add on top of that data. Adding multi-time frames onto multiple pairs just destroys the time, the amount of time that it takes for TradingView to calculate. I think we have something like 40 milliseconds to make it's less than that actually. Maybe it's I can't remember how many milliseconds it is to make the calculation, and if it's not done, it will come up with that little red alert saying that the indicator isn't accessible. So unfortunately, multi-time frames inside of the screener is not possible. Honestly, I think that limit orders would be best for the ABC patterns, no fees instantly, no lag server-wise, etc., etc. I agree with you. It was kind of what was based on the first iteration was to build the conditional orders. Now we have an indicator that can set alert. It could be limit orders only. So I agree that it certainly is a workaround for this. Could you please devise a strategy using volume profiles? It's extremely hard. I have tried several times. The problem is that volume profiles, like the indicator at the moment and I have at the moment, repaints and moves and things like that, and that's the reason that there isn't that many volume profile strategies on TradingView, I believe. I believe that that's all of the questions so far. Possible to display ABC on the chart? Yes, but unfortunately, due to the way that it's calculated, the ABC on the chart will only show up when the A to C line is broken on the way back down. But I can certainly add it at that point, but it won't show it before. Does the ABC strategy have a way to send exits? I see not at the moment, but it certainly will in the future. The reason being was we've been working with the Alertron and Endless Margin and platforms like this where we can add our exits at the point. But as people are talking about more trailing and things like that, it will be part of the future updates.
Hey David, in the ABC improvements, RW86 just posted something that was pretty interesting, I thought, where he was able to actually get a live test of like a harmonic filter with like using like fib ratios for the A, B, and C lines, I guess.
Yes.
Anyways, pretty interesting. I just wanted to let you know because it seemed like it had a pretty nice result.
Thank you very much. I will have a look. It was harmonic patterns and things like that I've spoken to him about recently. It's certainly fib ratios, harmonic patterns and things like that is certainly something that we need to look at as we're going along for more confirmation. It certainly will help in the future, I think, of filtering out some of those bad trades. I'm just scrolling down because there's quite a few messages. Okay, cool. Divergences. Somebody asked if I could add a divergence indicator into the confluences. It is planned without doubt. It was something to do with repainting was one of the reasons that I didn't release it. But I will release. I've now got it to confirm much quicker. So I will release a divergence indicator in the confluences in the next update if I can. I'll try my best to get it in the next one. If it's not, it'll be in 0.81 or 0.82. Turned out lucky. This was a false result. False signal. That one is okay. I'm not sure why that one was a false one. Okay, cool. If anybody's got any other questions, I'll happily answer any questions.
I've got a quick question about the Python version.
Yes.
I'm guessing with that we would have better entries, and the read issue wouldn't be as much because we'd be able to store the information locally, things like that.
Absolutely.
It'd be fairly solid, I guess.
Totally, Steve. Actually, I know you've been here for quite a while. I love Python. I think Python's fantastic. I know that there was a gap with the old strategies. Me having enough time to the old strategies. They're not old strategies, but the idea of building strategies once a week and things like that. Is that me having time to be able to convert each and every one of them, and also doing the tutorials to be able to install them and things like this. This is one strategy, which means that I'll be able to have the time to build it. So it certainly is what I would like to do personally as well.
Yeah, I was thinking, would it be an idea just to start simple with it and then build up? Because I think sometimes with the strategies, there's so many options for so many people. Everyone requests different things.
I agree. And
it just there's so many. That creates more bugs, doesn't it? And then I don't know. Then the focus is sort of taken. It's good that there's options for lots of different people, but sometimes it can be. I
totally agree.
Detrimental. I think
totally agree with you.
But I just thought to do maybe a simple version of the ABC on Python to start off with, and then build upon that, build on it.
Totally agree.
Just
with you.
Just something I was thinking in my head, just we've seen the backtester on the low pivots, just seeing how many trades they could potentially do on low pivots. That could be really good on Python with a kind of a high frequency type system.
Absolutely, I think that you're completely right in all aspects there. Whether it's confluence, I think that we search way too much for confluence, and unfortunately it makes things too complicated, because when you look at the difference between last week and this week, or 2 weeks ago and this week, there was absolutely tons and tons and tons of fantastic positive screenshots of simple entries when everything was very simple. Now things have got a bit too complicated. I think that we spend way too much time looking for a 99% win rate. And
I mean, I'm guilty of that. I do that every day.
Oh, me too with that. Yeah, me too. As 2 weeks ago, we had the most simple ABCs popping up, and everybody was trading them, and everybody was absolutely fantastic. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people were making great profit, and just on that simple bear and rocket and simple intuition as where the market could be going. Every aspect to do with Python. I think that Python should be the way forward, but without having the two possibilities, either learning Python or not having, so you've got some kind of bot or something so that you can just set it up easy on a website, because I think that I don't want it for it to become so niche that it's not tradable for anybody. So a bit like the confluence is, so I want to make it so that everybody can use it. So I will go for an easier version, like you said at first, ABCs, and try and add most of the options that are
light, ABC Lite version.
Yeah, ABC Lite. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. I don't know how accurate the best backtesting feature is at the bottom. Using high Kanashi candles would make it 5%. Your wheel go up. I wouldn't use Heiken-Ashi candles even with my backtester. Problem with Heiken-Ashi candles is that the calculation of a Heiken-Ashi candle is completely different to normal candles. It's a sum of the high, the low, divided by the 4, I think it is, or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I looked at the Heiken-Ashi candles. Range bar, I haven't looked real. I don't know how accurate it would be with the backtester that I've made. Personally, I'd keep away from them. Personally. The Heiken-Ashi candle algorithm that you can make is use a Heiken-Ashi overlay, and then think of that is the Heiken-Ashi what that does is it feeds the algorithm of Heiken-Ashi overlay through your algorithm and then applies it to the current candles that are on the screen, which gives you the best of both worlds. It won't give you obviously as high a win rate as Heiken-Ashi candles by themselves, but Heiken-Ashi candles will falsify your first back testing results. The master of range bars. Yes, Mr. Pips is the master of range bars. David, I misuse your Heiken-Ashi candle with Heiken-Ashi. Oh, it's working perfectly. Fantastic. That's great. I'm very happy that that's working for you. This is great, but be very careful. I do in my head to your emoji. That looks wonderful. I look like a stick man on yellow. On green. Fantastic. Oh, great. You started something there, Vlad. Wonderful. Thank you. How seems the easiest point? Okay. Hi, David. Heard about the how many Elliott waves? Let me just go over here. The Elliott wave candy thing that I built has been spot on recently. Wanted to ask if you heard. If you're looking for educational stuff on Elliott Wave, I'd go and look at Kite Crypto. Because his first videos went through them and is very, very easy to go through all of them. There's a couple of good books out there. The Visual Guides to Elliott Wave, which I've got, and then the Elliott Wave for Principles is another one, which are two good books. He's doing harmonic. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe.
David, you have the
maybe. I'm not sure. You might be right. Husband. You have to go and have a look. I'm not sure. Very true. This is so great. My head on a green bar. Thank you very much. Right, unless there's any other questions, I will leave you to your day. I will be doing a video on how to, and thanks very much, Steve, for that emoji as well. I will leave you today. I will do a video, like I said, on the A to Z's of setting up these bots so that you'll be able to easily set up the bots. I think that it's pretty simple now, but I'll do a video very, very quickly. Any tips on repainting? Keep your pivot highs, your pivot levels, lengths higher, and I will work on building some static variables so that we can keep the data as much as possible for as long as possible in the near future. There's another question, just trying to work out what it means. I can figure at this point if so, fib levels and the indicator are the only. No, the fib levels inside the indicator. So I believe the question is, how do we use the fibs as exits? You can use them by using this here, which is the short TP. short TP full. Now that will give you the fib level. So if you set up fib here and fib below, if you use the hashtag short TP full and then hashtag, you can go to davidtech / placeholders. You'll be able to find that. That will send out an alert with the fib level inside your alert. So you can use it either with Alertron or any other one out there. So yeah. So that's how you use that. Can you add exits for shorts and longs so I can start testing? That's exactly the same. I'll do a full video on bots on Friday so you can understand that. I did go through it on this live stream, but I'll do a short version so you don't have to scroll through the 2 hours and 30 minutes of me talking to find out how to set up the bots. Are you still on your 1000% short? I still have 75% inside of it in it at the moment, and it's currently at 1109%. Got it. Cheers. No problem. I will do a video on how to set that up as in the next video. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, remove my my code from here. Thank you very much. I will do that now, so that not everybody's trading with my API codes. Okay, I guess that's about it. 1000%. How much leverage did you use? It was on the entry. Now this is on my main account, and it was a hybrid entry that I did when we were building the indicator. My entry point was at 30k roughly. It was just below 30k, and it was on a isolated 40x leverage. API management. Yes. And I need to remove these ones. I don't know which one it was. I guess it's that one there. Yes. Thank you very much for reminding me. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. Unless anybody's got any other questions, I'll leave you to your day. I will do a video on bots, and I'll put that up on Friday so that everybody can follow along if they want to connecting to bots. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget about... I don't know if I put a screenshot in there. A giveaway for a treasure. Oh yes, yep, as always, Vlad is very generously giving away another treasure. You can find the link in Discord. I think it's up at the top. Is it in Discord, Vlad? Yep. Yeah, in Discord you can find the new giveaway room if you'd like to win a treasure. Thank you very much to everybody for all the support as always. I apologize if I go on a bit and talk a lot, and I will find, with your help, thank you very much for all of your help, I will find solutions to any bugs that you may find, but it's all very much thanks to you guys. Thank you very much for all your help. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And bye-bye to YouTube. Cool.